Ying Ning Prince is serving the state of Chu Luodian people, fatherless. He was very smart. 14-year-old became a scholar. His mother loved because they were not called him to the country to play. He said to a marriage, surnamed Xiao, did not marry here, he died, so it is still unmarried. Lantern festival that day, his uncle's children born Wu invited him to go with viewing. They just left the village, uncle to a servant to chase, the Fitch moved back. Prince swimsuits see women like clouds, they also play high spirits alone. There is a girl with a little maid, hands Nianzhao plum, Ronghua, who, smiling, Prince served stare at the girl, even forgot scruples identity. Girl walked over a few steps, back to little maid said, look at that Kenjiro, shining eyes, like a thief. The plum on the floor, smiled and walked away with the maid said. Prince picked up the plum dress, saw it, like a lost soul go home unhappy. Prince close home, the flowers hidden under the pillow, fell down to sleep, eat or drink, he does not speak. Mother is very anxious to see him like this. She asked the Taoist monks and alter evil, but Prince clothes got sicker and sicker, unlike the thin look. The doctor gave his pulse diagnosis and treatment, prescribing prescription divergence table evil, but always sir the Prince stumbled. Mother gently asked him how it was, Prince closed silent. Wu Sheng come a time when the mother put her exhortations secretly tracked down the reasons for his dry fall ill. Wu Sheng went to the bed, he saw the prince close cried. Wu Sheng persuasion near the bed to comfort him, careful questioning his mind. Prince served all that out, but also asked him to find a way. Wu Sheng said with a smile, you are too crazy, this desire what is unattainable for you. I would look for her to play her foot to the country, indicating that certainly is not a wealthy family. If many people have not, things will be easier. That is, people already have, we spend more money to fight it. I guess we will be able to do so as long as your health body, the matter leave it to me. The prince serving her this, Fila exposed laugh appearance, Fitch clothing from the prince out of there, to tell the prince's mother clothes, and then they find out that the girl's residence. However, regardless of by looking for visits, I have not found a trace of the girl. Mother is very worried, but what cannot help it. However, since Fitch left, prince served worry and ate and opened, can eat a little something. A few days later, Fitch again, how things are going, Prince Suit asked. Wu Sheng told him that, I thought it had found who it was my aunt's daughter, that is, your aunt cousin. We are now waiting Xiao though intermarriage somewhat taboo, but tell the truth, did not a fragmentation of the prince of clothes very happy, asked where she lives. Wu Sheng makes up said, live in the southwest mountains, about 10 miles from here. The prince repeated exhortations close, Fitch volunteered mouthful promised, then he departed. Since then, Prince Close diet gradually increased, the condition will get better day by day. He visits under the pillow, though plum dries up, still not litter. Prince suits her breath reverie, playing with this branch plum, like to see the girl. Prince served strange Wu students do not come, they write call. Wu Sheng hedged dodge, do not meet the prince served anger and hate, unhappy. His mother was afraid he might relapse, and quickly planning to marry for him, but a counsel with him, he refused to shake his head, as one looking forward to the arrival of Wu Sheng. Fitch has not audio, prince served more resentment, but then I thought, 10 miles is not far away, why do you rely on someone else? Then the dry plum on the sleeve, gambling with their own air travel, home. People do not know. Prince served alone, lonely along the way, even people who did not ask for a meet, and walked up to the mountain. About 30 miles away, I saw the mountain's peaks, cool people, silent valley, uninhabited, only a trail, looking to the end of the valley, indiscriminate tree flowers in the shade, a small village vague, down the mountain village, to see the small houses or thatched hut take. But the mood is very elegant. There is a north, in front of all kinds of willows, walls and peach, apricot, especially prosperous middle also planted a clump of bamboo forest, where wild birds chirping. Prince estimated that this service must be witch of the garden, did not dare to go bold. Looking back across the people, in front of a large rock slide clean, so he sat above the rest. For a moment, heard a woman drawled call little wing inside the walls, it sounds fine sounding Johnson. While between him focused listening, there was a girl coming from east to west, armed with an apricot, tilting his head low, his head was about to insert. She looked up and saw the prince's clothes, they no longer wear flowers, smiling Nianzhao into it. Prince Close carefully looked at the girl, it is encountered when the Lantern Festival outing. His heart is very pleasant surprise, but think of no excuse to close. I intend to call aunt, but never had intercourse with his aunt, afraid to make mistakes. No one can ask the hospital door, the prince serving station is not, nor is it to sit, restless and walked up and down, from morning until wait until sunset, as one was expecting out of the yard, even hunger are forgotten. In this case, the girl is exposed from under the door half of the face, spy prince clothing, wonder why he does not like to leave. Suddenly there is a woman on crutches out, Prince Close said, where are you from the musical? I heard from morning to come, one to stay until then you going to do good hungry Prince Busy Close stood up and bowed, replied waiting for relative to find it. The old lady deaf not to hear, Prince Close and cried again, this and asked her relatives your name, the prince served not answer. The old lady smiled and said, weird you do not know even the name, how to visit relatives and I think it is better to be a nerd musical also come in with me, to eat bread and water, the house has a bed, you can stay on until the night go home tomorrow, find out what a good name, come visit later the prince of service being hungry eat something, not to mention they can be close to that pretty girl, so very happy. Prince followed a woman into the service, I saw the door white head paving, narrow lane full of bright red flowers, petals fall on the steps. Go west along the stone path, and after a small door, roof racks full of beans in cart. The old lady serving the prince invited into the living room, she saw the interior white wall bright as a mirror, crab apple tree outside the window of brilliant flowers flexiless probe into the chamber, bed and blanket and chairs furniture is clean. Prince Close just sit down, people are constantly peep from the window, women call out little wing, go to cook. There is a maid outside loud response, sit for a while, they chatted about family background. The old lady said musical way Zhu home is not surnamed Wu, Prince Close said, is old lady exclaimed, you are my nephew at your mother is my sister in recent years, because the family poverty, do not have a boy, there is nowhere audio nephew grows so big, it is not met, said the prince suit, this is to comment, in a hurry to forget what the name the old lady said. Laos and surnamed Chin, now not had a baby, a girl also concubines, and her mother remarried, gave me dependence down smarter, less is taught, always laughing and joking do not know too worried, for a while, I told her to meet you. Little effort, the maid cooked the food, there are juicy chicken, very rich, the old lady continued to persuade the prince dress eat. After dinner, the maid came in to clean up the dishes. The old lady said I told Ning regardless come, answered the maid away. After a long, faintly heard outside the door there is laughter. Old lady cried Ying Ning, your aunt cousin here. The door is still Chi-Chi laughing. Ying Ning advanced to the maid, Ying Ning is still muzzled, laughing, cannot control. The old lady stared at her, said in a guessed, or creaky, like what? The girl suppressed a laugh. On the side, made a prince bow to the girl close. The old lady said this is Wang Lang, the son of your aunt is not a family acquaintance, called outsiders joke. The prince of clothes and asked how old sister? The old lady did not hear, said the prince served again, the girl laughed again, smiling head to lift up. The old lady said to the prince of clothing I said less education, then look out now older are 16 years old, silly blankly still like a child. Prince Close said I am less than a year old. The old lady said the nephew has 17 years old, and probably Jingwu years old, is a horse of it. The prince nodded service. The old lady asked, who nephew wife suit? Prince replied not yet. The old lady said, like nephew beauty and talent, why 17 betrothal has not yet. Ying Ning also still no in-laws, you both very down match. But unfortunately maternal cousin brother and sister to marry is not very good. Prince Close did not speak, just two eyes staring Ying Ning, attend to blink aside. Maid whispered to the girl, look at him with sharp eyes, like a little thief did not change. The girl is laughing, for the maid said, let's go take a look at open. Tao did not open. She suddenly stood up, with his sleeve Yanzu, walked out fine. I went out, only to burst out laughing. The old lady stood up, greeted the maid to clean up the bed, sleeping arrangements for the prince clothing. Prince clothes, said nephew, to trip is not easy, it is best to live 3 to 5 days, slowly sending you home if they think the house oppressed. There is a small garden behind the house for leisure, there are books available for reading. The next day, the prince served to the room after a turn, and she has half an acre of garden land, fine fluffy green grass like carpet, Yehu little shop on the trails. The park has 3 thatched cottages, surrounded by flowers and trees. Kong round surrounded. He walked through the bush and walked slowly, only to hear the head of a tree su-su sound, looked up, saw that it's Ying Ning in the trees and saw the prince clothes walking, laughing, almost fell off. Prince clothes hastily shouted, do not laugh, accidentally fell off. Ying Ning laughing while under the tree, still laughing uncontrollably. When we approached the ground, a mist fell down, then laughter was admitted. Prince served up to help her, secretly pinch a bit her wrist. Ying Ning laughed again, smiling by a tree lumbering step, long before stopped. After serving her prince to be laughing enough, just plum out from the sleeve to her. Ying Ning took it, and said, why have withered keep it yet? Prince clothes, said this is the lantern festival sister dropped, so it has been preserved. Ying Ning asked keep what it has, use it, the prince suit, said as an expression of love did not forget Ahmed since the lantern festival. Ponder sick, thought life was not guaranteed, I did not expect today to witness the appearance sister, I want to be merciful to the poor. Ying Ning said this is not a thing of their own relatives, but could not bear it when his brother to go and so, called an old servant, to pick flowers in the garden of a large bundle of it. You go back, the prince of service, said, sister is a fool you. Ying Ning asked why say it's a fool, the prince dress, said, I am not a flower, but people love Nian who is Ying Ning said the relatives of mutual affection, love also, needless to say it prince of service, said I am talking about love between love, not relatives, but the kind of love between husband and wife. Ying Ning said, is there anything different you, said the prince served, to be sharing a bed with it at night. Ying Ning head down thinking for a long time, he said I can habits and sleeping stranger, speaks, the maid quietly came, the prince served anxious to escape. After a child, Prince clothes and Ying Ning in the old laddie's house met again. Ying Ning old lady asked where are you? Ying Ning replied chat together in the garden. The old lady asked rice already cooked, what would endlessly told for so long? Ying Ning said, a big brother with me to sleep before Ying Ning finished. The prince served very embarrassed, and hurried her stare with your eyes. This Ying Ning smiled, said no more. Fortunately, the old lady deaf could not hear, is still more than ramble cross-examination. The prince busy with other clothes, then cover it up. Because of this, the prince served quietly blame Ying Ning. Ying Ning said do not just words should not say it. Prince of service, said, this is the back of people's words. Ying Ning said back to others, how can we back mother it? Besides sleep is common, what to avoid arousing suspicion? Prince clothes really hate her dementia, there is no way to let her know. Just after a meal, served family was prince brought the 2 donkeys came looking for him. It turned out that the queen mother saw that he served for a long time did not come back, heart began to doubt, find over and over in the village, even without a trace, so asking students to find Wu Sheng remembered what he had said the words, so teach people to look to the southwest of the village, looking for someone through several villages before they get here. Prince closed to go out, just hit to come, so the old lady went to report it, also with a request Ying Ning back together. The old lady said happily I have long been this idea, not one half of the old and feeble body I just cannot go the long way, can take our sister and nephew to go home, know what and, great, said strike on the call Ying Ning. Ying Ning's smile came. The old lady said what happy event, laughing incessantly. If this laughter get rid of problems, is a perfect person. He said angrily, looked at her eyes, went on to say, brother, going to take you back together, go pack up right. The old lady has come to entertain the royal food and wine to eat meals, just send them out. He told Ying Ning, said your aunt's farm produce abundant, supported the two idlers. Once there, do not have to hurry back, learn a little ritual poetry and literature. Ye serve the future in-laws the way your aunt trouble, you find a good husband. After listening to the prince's clothing and Ying Ning asked to leave the road, Call went back to visit. You can still see the old lady still faintly against the door overlooking the north. After arriving home, the queen mother saw a very pretty girl, Jingwen who she was. The prince said that the clothes aunt's daughter. The mother said, once Wu Lang says to you, then lie to you. I do not have my sister. Were they come niece yet? They asked Ying Ning. Ying Ning said, I am not. The mother gave birth to my father's name Qin. When he died, I was still an infant, still do not know notes. The queen mother said, I have a sister married to Qin. It is true, but she was already dead. How can it exist? So careful inquiry. Ying Ning mother's face and skin moles warts are all in line with the characteristics of her sister, and suspiciously said, but it touches the dead for many years, how can it still alive? Being in doubt, Wu was born, and Ying Ning hid inside the room. Wu Sheng asked what had happened. Caught in a long time puzzled, he suddenly asked, this girl is not called Ying Ning? The prince's promised service? Fitch said, even strange. Prince Suits asked what students know Wu. Wu Sheng then said, after the death of Qin and uncle, a person living alone at home fell in love with a fox. The fox died, later gave birth to a daughter named Ying Ning, with seeds wrapped in the bed. The family saw at uncle's death. Fox also often come later, invited Zhong Tianfu attached to the wall. Fox Ying Ning away with this. Could it be her? Everyone doubtfully talk with this matter, only to hear the inner room Ying Ning cheat to stop laughing. Queen mother said, this girl is too foolish. A Ying Ning Wu Sheng she saw. Queen mother then went in, and then Ying Ning still intoxicated laughing matter regardless. Queen mother urged her to go out to see off. She just tried to hold back laughter, but also to face the wall. Sedative took a while to come out. After she came out, a red Russian gang worshipped, twisting it ran back, burst out laughing. A room full of women have been amused. Wu Yingning students make their own travel home to see what? By the way, matchmaking service for prince. Once you find the village and found no houses, only a withered flower float in the air to the ground. Wu Shang think ant burial places if in the vicinity, but no shortage of graves. Illegible, had surprised Sai while back. After the queen mother heard you suspect a ghost, the students then told Wu Yingning. Yingning not at all afraid. She has no family, no pity on. She also not sad, but wasted giggle. Everyone unpredictable. Queen mother called Yingning and his little daughter with daily life. Yingning early to come to the queen mother asked the day, doing needlework delicate exquisite. Just love to laugh, how could not ban also prohibits? But the grace of sweet time laughing nor harm her charming, everyone loved her. Neighborhood women girls also are scrambling to better communication with her. Choose a good queen mother lucky day, prepared to allow 2 weddings married, but was always afraid Gui Wu Yingning. Later in the sun Yingning secretly look at the figure, different from ordinary people. To the auspicious day, let Yingning bride ceremony dress up line, but Yingning laughed so hard not to salute, I had to give up. Since prince clothes Yingning silly and foolish, she worried that people outside the room leak affair, and she was strictly secret room, no mention. Every time the queen mother sorrow angry, as long as one to the Yingning, a smile can be resolved. The female prisoner slave small mistake, fear of being master's whip. The queen mother begged Yingning go there to speak, then mistakes made servants to go see the cast, so that you can avoid punishment. Yingning love flowers addiction, relatives and friends who have a good flower, she collected again, sometimes even when noble jewelry also secretly go out to buy varieties. A few months later, the yard all places, including steps on both sides, have planted flowers around the toilet. There are a backyard wood, walls close neighbor to the west, Ying Ning often climb on woody showy, pick some flowers in the head or in the house playing. When the queen mother to see, we should blame her, she never changed. One day, my neighbor's son to see West Ying Ning is superfluous and picking flowers on the play, was captured the hearts of her appearance, she kept staring. Ying Ning did not escape, still laughing. Ying Ning West of child thought to myself interested, Xinjing Yang more swing. Ying Ning fingers at foot of the wall, laughing anymore. West of child thought it was his place to tell dating, very happy. At dusk, the child went to the designated place West. Ying Ning really there. West of child rape her past, lower body suddenly felt like being tapered puncture in general, pain, could not help but cried fail. Another look, rather infant is not, but the foot of the wall of a lateral deadwood, a lower body is exposed to rain rotten a bubble hole. West child's father heard the shouts, rushed over for information, just west of the child moaned not speak. His wife came, this truthfully say what had happened. Ignition illuminate, deadwood and saw there was a big hole in scorpions, small crabs as big as the old man next door. West split the wood, caught scorpions killed. Then his son back home in the middle of the night the child died. That neighbor told the prince close and expose Yaoi Ying Ning mischief. The magistrate usually admired scholarship prince suits, he is a well-known scholar of decent behavior. Judgment neighbor old man is falsely accused, ready to hit the stick penalty. Prince neighbor old man begging for cloth as free play. This magistrate who sent him tied up, kicked him out. Later, the queen mother said Ning infant see you look so handsha, knew too much of a worry thanks to Li buried in the magistrate sees well. This did not implicate. If there are a confused executive bound to you caught the confrontation on the court, then what face my children goodbye to relatives and friends? Ying Ning exposing the seriousness of demeanor, vowed never again laugh. Queen mother said how can people do not laugh, but sometimes there should noon sun. Since then, Ying Ning even really no longer laugh, that one should tease her, she did not laugh, but not sad all day expression. One night, in front of Prince Ying Ning served a nose a tear to cry. Prince served very surprised. Ying Ning, choking back tears, said, in the past because of the short one to live, I am afraid to say so the truth you're scared strange now found her mother and you were my special love, there is no dissent, so let me know the truth if it may not hinder me with this as fox-born mother went away, I was entrusted to the ghost mother, us dependent life more than a decade, only today, I have no brothers, rely only on you mother alone suffer loneliness in the mountains, no one she buried her kai and fin pur, she would grudge infinite in heaven, if you do not bother and spend money. The underground eliminate painful sadness, perhaps raising a person can no longer bear her daughter's daughter drowned and abandoned. Prince Service Ying Ning agreed to the request, but concerns weeds is difficult to find graves. Ying Ning said that this need not worry. Selected day, the couple went to the car pulling the coffin. Ying Ning in the mountains and plains of grassland leaves, pointing grave position, and she found the bodies of the old lady, and yet the bodies intact. Fu Ying Ning corpse tears. Later, the old laddie's body carried back, they found the grave of Chin, buried together. That night, Prince closed dream come thanked the old lady, after waking up and told Ying Ning. Ying Ning said I also saw her at night, and told her not to scare you. Prince served regret not asked her to stay. Ying Ning said she is a ghost, more than a stranger here. Yang Sheng, how can she stay? Asked the prince and service small wing. Ying Ning said she is a fox, the most clever, the fox mother left her under care of me, always get something to eat feed me, I always keep in mind the benefits of her yesterday asked the ghost mother, said small wing already married. Since then, the annual King Ning, Prince closed the couple must boarding Chin Cemetery, grave worship and onward. After a year, Ying Ning gave birth to a son, the child in the arms of your mother's not afraid of strangers, telling anyone laugh, a great mother's demeanor medal. Different she said look Ying Ning that Chi Han Xiao, just like heartless however, resorted to see her at the wall mischievous, cunning but also very witty. As for the nostalgia weeping ghost mother, a reversal of laughter is crying, my Ying Ning is probably left to hide their own right. I have heard that there is a mountain of grass, called carry almost laughing, people smell it,
They will not stop laughing. If the womb sow a grass seed, then by contrast, would make acacia lotus and lost its luster. As Jiuha, it is annoying.